coming, the snowflakes will be falling. It's the most wonderful time of year. So hang up your stockings, put the tinsel on the tree, because Christmas is coming, my dear. It's the only time of year.
Hey everybody, welcome back and Merry Christmas. Today's actually Christmas Day, so I hope that you're all having a wonderful time with your loved ones. And I even dressed up a little Christmassy. So yeah, of course, this is another Christmas themed build, and this is my fourth and final one for this year. And again, it's inspired by a Christmas movie, and this one is inspired by Noelle. And I have actually talked about this movie in my last video because I have recently rewatched it, and for some reason I thought it's from last year. But it's not, it's from 2019, so I don't know what that was about. Anyway, I rewatched it, and I did actually rewatch it twice this year. So I absolutely love this movie. I think this might become like really in my top 3, you know, of my favorite Christmas movies. And it's just lovely, like it's just beautiful, and I cried so much. And I watched it like I think the first time I watched it on a weekend, and then I watched it again on a Monday after. So it was like 2 days in between, and I cried both times like crazy, you know. So it's just so good. So if you haven't seen the movie, probably don't watch this video, but there might be some spoilers, so yeah, just so you know. Anyway, so the movie is set in the North Pole, or like at least like part of the movie is set in the North Pole or at the North Pole. And this is what I'm building so it's about like Noelle Kringle. So that's the main character, played by Anna Kendrick. And she is obviously the daughter of Santa Claus. And her brother is Nick Kringle, and they live on the North Pole, and they live in this beautiful cottage. And I didn't actually realize that when I watched the movie for the first time, but you do actually see a fair bit of the cottage in the movie. And I think I didn't realize that because it's also set in Phoenix, you know, so they don't obviously show, like the North Pole is not in Phoenix, so you wouldn't see their home for a big part of the movie. So but they do show it in the beginning and also like in between, and you do see a lot of it. So I was actually quite happy when I like rewatched it, and I like, you know, I was like, I have to build this because it's just so beautiful. And so what I'm actually doing right now, they have these beautiful like stained glass windows, you know, these colorful glass windows. And what I'm doing now, I will delete later on, but I did want to show you because that's kind of what I filmed for Windows. And I did use the ones that came with the My Wedding Stories pack. And I covered them up using like an archway, I think the one from Island Living, and then some shelves and all that, because they have this I don't know, this arch, and it's not like that in the movie. They're actually pretty plain except for the stained glass. And I didn't realize that we do have the ones that came with Get Together, I think that are the ones that I did end up using in the end. And yeah, so that was kind of all for nothing because I will get rid of it in the end. Also, like, I got rid of it because, you know, the windows, I had to shrink them, and then, you know, by placing them on an upper level, that's what you have to do in order for them not to like clip into the wall, you know. So that's kind of annoying if you want to play and then you have these windows like floating in the air. That's just annoying. So yeah, I did end up using the Get Together ones, and they do actually match much better because the ones in the movie are actually just like plain wood on the like the surrounding of the window, and then, you know, the windows are just stained glass. So yeah, so I placed this lot in Mount Komorebi, and this is actually the onsen lot, which is, it's a bit annoying because it's a beautiful lot. You have a beautiful view like down on Mount Komorebi, but you can't change the lot type. So that's a bit annoying, you know, you can't make it into a residential lot. And but still, you know, I wanted to have the shots here and all that, so that's why I placed it here. And there are so many beautiful things about this cottage. They have Christmas trees everywhere around the house, and I think that's so gorgeous. You know, they have actually like colored string lights around them, and I did try to use like lights and set them at a different color, you know, and place them around like normal trees to make it look like, you know, they have colored string lines around them, but it just didn't look right. It was much too bright too, because, you know, if you place so many lights, it's just gonna light up too much. So I just ended up using Christmas trees because, you know, they do have ornaments and all that kind of stuff in their trees around the house as well. So I figured, you know, it's fine, and they are looking kind of colorful anyway, so yeah. So yeah, the movie is, like I said, it's absolutely wonderful, and the house is, I know I've said that about the Rose Hill cottage from The Holiday, but this house is like my dream home as well. I mean, maybe even more so than the Rose Hill cottage, or maybe, you know, if I could, I would have like the Rose Hill cottage for the majority of the year, and then this one for Christmas. You know, this could be like my Christmas home, you know? So, I don't think that's over the top at all. Anyway, so it's just a beautiful house. Like, the floor plan is so gorgeous. Like, they have this, I don't know, in Germany, we call it a gallery, because, you know, if you have stairs and then it's like the upper floor, I don't know how to explain that. The upper floor is like open, except for one part of the upper floor. I don't know, you know, you walk up the stairs and then you go into the you know, into the room, but you can look down on the ground floor, you know, if that makes sense. That's what we call that, a gallery. So I don't know what you call that in English. Let me know in the comments if you know. Anyway, I think that's absolutely beautiful because, you know, I don't know, just imagine like standing up there, you know, you're coming out of your room, that's Noelle's room up there, and you're just coming out of it and you're just looking down and everything's just decorated for Christmas, and you see a burning fireplace and that kind of stuff, and it's just so gorgeous, you know, it's so cute and cozy, and I just love that. And there's so many details here. I mean, this is a Disney movie, and you can definitely tell because there are so many details in the design, in the overall design. And there's like hidden Mickeys everywhere. There's hidden Mickeys in the, so in the living room they have tile, and it's actually like a super detailed tile in general. They have like a black border, and then it's kind of like a yellowish kind of stone, and there's like Mickeys in there everywhere, and oh god, there's Mickeys everywhere. I think even there's one in the fireplace, and it's so cute, you know, watching a Disney movie and then just like noticing all these little details. And yeah, so yeah, this is the living room, and obviously I used like all sorts of Christmas clutter that we have. And I gotta say, like, compared to the last house that I built, which was the one from the Family Stone, this house actually wasn't very cluttered at all, surprisingly. I mean, don't get me wrong, there still is like a lot of clutter. Pretty much like everywhere that you can put something, there is something, but still, like, compared to the Family Stone house, it's, I think, you know, the Family Stone house was just a little more like messy kind of clutter, you know, kind of clutter all over the place. But here it's just very, well, everything is just Christmas themed, you know, and everything is just like has its purpose in this kind of set, you know, in this movie set, and you can just tell. And also, like, what I love about this movie is well, set in our time, right? So you have like, everybody wants iPads for Christmas, and you know, you have like smartphones, and there's like all that sort of like smart tech kind of people in the Santa like business and all that. So you have that, but also like the house, the Kringle's house, and like everything on the North Pole, it's just very like old school, very traditional. And you'll find like all these old school like instruments, like the cashier kind of thing is very old school looking. They have fireplaces everywhere. They have like the furniture is very like antique kind of looking. The TV in the Kringle's house is like an old kind of, I don't know, 50s looking TV kind of. Did they have TVs in the 50s? I don't even know. Okay, I just had to Google that. There were TVs, but I don't think it was very common. Anyway, so just like a very old looking TV, and I think that's just so charming, you know, and still it feels up to date, like the movie, you know, it feels like up to date and kind of, you know, the characters are very, you know, modern kind of, you know, modern thinking, I guess, that's what you could say. So, yeah, obviously there's like presents everywhere around the tree and all that, and well, the character Noelle is just the most precious character. Actually, like just thinking about her, it literally makes me like tear up. I'm not even joking. Like she is such a wonderful person, and I don't know, it's just something about, you know, these people in Christmas movies that are just like, you know, like Noelle. I think she's a great example because she's just such a good person, you know, she's just so kind and loving and caring and just nice, you know, just a nice person, and which is very rare nowadays, you know, like in reality you don't really find that, and I think that's pretty sad actually. I think it's so hard to find like nice people and all that, so I think that might be a reason why this makes me like so emotionally invested, you know, these Christmas movies, because I just love that so much, you know, seeing people that actually care and that are actually like good and doing good and that kind of stuff. And still, like Noelle, she's still like super relatable because she's just like a girl, you know, like she likes to shop, she likes to you know, presents, she likes presents, and you know, she's yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I will continue talking about the build, or I will try. So yeah, I'm working on the living room still, which is like part of the living room is like the upper floor, like the gallery, let's just call it that. And that was a bit of a pain to build that because you know, in order to get this opening, you have to delete the floor, and then your camera will just like, if you don't place it in the right way, it will just like drop down to the ground floor, you know, and that's just annoying. So yeah, I had to cut a lot of it out. So it's, yeah, it was a bit of a pain, not gonna lie. But I love how it turned out. You know, I put shelves all around this gallery opening there, and I just cluttered them with all sorts of Christmas stuff. So I think that's just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, just imagining, you know, walking down the stairs and then you can see like all the clutter. And it is like that in the movie. Like they do have shelves around this opening and they are cluttered. So yeah, you do actually see a lot of the house. It's kind of crazy, you know. Looking at the movie, looking back at the movie, I was able to really like capture a lot, and you know, by screenshotting stuff and all that. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And they do have this detail on the wall, which, you know, they have you can see the roof, you know, from underneath the roof. If that makes sense. And this detail kind of leads up to the roof, you know. I kind of try to make that happen a little bit. It doesn't, it's just a curve, basically. It looks a little more arched, I think. Is that more pointy in the original? But I think in this case, this kind of shape made more sense because we don't really have like, you know, that kind of roofing. It doesn't really look cute. So yeah, I wanted it to look cute even if you just see the wall, you know? So yeah, these things, I'm pretty sure they're made for kids, so they're a little snug. So yeah. So yeah, in this house, what you see in the movie is actually, well, you see the living room, then you see the kitchen, and you see Noelle's room, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Like you can see a little bit of like the hallway, that I assumed must lead to, you know, to the parents' bedroom or to some sort of like other bedrooms. And oh yeah, this is kind of still part of the living room, what I'm building now. This is kind of like the room where they have a piano and, well, I mean, I guess you could call it like a sitting room. I don't know, or like a formal living room. I don't know what you would call that, but yeah, yeah, I did include, because, you know, Noelle has a brother, Nick, and I did include a room for him as well. So in total, you have in this build that I upload to the gallery, it is Noelle's room, and she has a bathroom out there as well. I kind of assumed that would make sense, you know, because, yeah, I don't know. And then you have this part of the living room, then you have the normal living room, the kitchen, and the parents' bedroom, which has a bathroom as well. And then Nick's bedroom, which also has a tiny little bathroom. So yeah, I just included those rooms because I thought it made sense, because it is supposed to be for the Kringles, and yeah, they would have rooms for everybody, you know. So actually, thinking about it, there's also Elf Polly, and she's the nanny of Noelle and Nick, and I'm pretty sure she lives there as well. So I should probably have included a room for her too, but yeah, I didn't really think about that, so yeah. So you will see me going back and forth a little bit, because I did, like, as per usual, when I build something by reference, or especially by movie reference, I will like go back and forth between like pictures, and then I find some stuff that I didn't notice before, and then I will go back and change that and that kind of stuff. So the couch that I placed here, for example, I will exchange that with an armchair, because I saw in a different picture, or I think I saw that it's not actually a couch, it's a chair. And then I saw this bucket of roses, or it's probably not roses, it's like these Christmassy flowers, you know, is that lilies maybe? No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I know what they're called. My mom loves them. I know the German word. In German they're called Amaryllis, but I don't know what they're called in English. Maybe it's the same. Let me know if you know. So I'm pretty sure that's those, but we don't have that in game, so I just used roses, and I thought it's kind of cute, you know. I used the bucket that came with Cottage living, and then I just placed a bunch of these roses that you have to unlock them, I'm pretty sure, you know. But yeah, it's just a single rose in a white vase, and I sized it up and down a little bit and had like a couple of those and rotated them so that they kind of look like a full little, like yeah, like, what do you call that? Like a flower thing. I forget the name. Anyway, so yeah, so this is still like the other part of the living room. Let's just call it that. And they don't have like I didn't see it anyway. They don't have like a desk or anything in their house, which would make sense because they have the workshop, you know. They have like everything work related, like, is for Santa, and that would be like in the workshop, and you know, he doesn't work at his house, you know. So or actually I should say she, because you know, in the end Noelle is gonna be Santa, and I also think that is such a great thing, because you know, for me, it's the only movie that I know, the only Christmas movie that I know that has a female Santa. And I think that's, well, first off, that's kind of like, it was about time, you know. And second of all, it's a, you know, it's such a kind of, you know, it's a Christmas movie, but it also has this sort of like female empowerment kind of thing, but in a very charming kind of way, you know. It's not like obviously it's not like a feminist movie, it's still like very much a Christmas movie, but you know, it's about like her also finding herself, her place as a woman in the Kringle family, and yeah, like allowing herself to do what she is good at, and also like making others or helping others understand that, you know, she as a woman might be able to do that in a better way than her brother Nick or another man would be, you know? So it's just a wonderful kind of thing. Another wonderful thing about this movie, and just like seeing Noelle like grow into this role of being Santa, and oh god, I love that so much. I actually want to watch it again tonight because it's so good. This might become like my favorite Christmas movie ever. I don't know. I don't want to say it now because there's like a lot of really good Christmas movies that I absolutely love out there, but you know, and they have some like nostalgic kind of worth to them, which this movie obviously doesn't, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so as you can see, we're working on the kitchen now, and I am actually so proud that I managed to make everything functional except for the fireplace in the kitchen. And also Noelle has a fireplace in her room, and that's not functional either. But, you know, I figured it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'm working on Noelle's room now, and yeah, it doesn't really matter because, you know, you don't really need them. And if you want to have like the steam blowing off like from your chimney, it's enough to light one fireplace in your house. So the one in the living room is functional, and yeah, so and everything else is functional. And in the kitchen, that's actually, to me, that's kind of like a miracle because it's so tiny. It's such a small kitchen, and there's so much stuff, you know, there's so much clutter everywhere. And I don't know, it's still functional, it still works, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, this is Noelle's room, and this was so much fun to build. Like, she has such a cute room. It's kind of like, you know, it's very girly, it's very, like, there's a lot of pink. And I'm just assuming that's like what her room used to be like when she was younger as well. But she's still like that, and she's like I would say she's probably like a shopaholic, and she has a lot of clothes. And so she has this big like closet that's kind of open and has curtains, you know. And also in the beginning of the movie, she's kind of responsible, or what she does is she makes these beautiful Christmas cards, you know, these pop-up cards. And so she has her little like workstation there. So she has like a small desk, and then there's like another desk next to that, a bigger one, and then there's another desk or a table or something like on the wall. And then she has like a cabinet where there's like all sorts of like crafting stuff, I assume. So I'm kind of building that right now. I did try to make that look like, you know, it's kind of like a crafting station there, and still make it look like, you know, like the items that there are in the movie. And because, you know, I could have used the ones that came, did they come with nifty knitting? Or, I don't know, we have like some items, like some crafty items, you know, we have a crafty kind of desk, and a crafty other table, and some crafty stuff for the wall. I could have used that obviously, but it's not at all the style of the house, you know, it's not at all like the style of the furniture that she has in her room. So yeah, I just opted against it and just used some other stuff, you know, some other I think I actually used a dining chair, sized it down a little bit, and then I just used clutter. You know, that we have a lot of stuff like that, you know, we have a lot of stuff that came with well, nifty knitting, and then the high school pack, and I don't know, like we have a bunch of stuff. There's some from Cottage living as well, and the pastel pop, and the you know, the new kits. What's the other one? Everyday clutter kit. Obviously there's a lot of like stuff there as well. So yeah, I pretty much used every clutter item that kind of looks crafty. You know, that's kind of what I did. And I just put that everywhere. And also, like, you can see her room is kind of messy. Like, it's, well, it's not, you don't really see it at first glance. But if you look closely, you can see that there's a lot of, like, you know, like a lot of clothing on the floor, and, you know, magazines everywhere and that kind of stuff. And it makes sense because, you know, it's also like part of the movie plot that she's kind of spoiled, you know, and she's kind of, because she has a nanny, and I'm pretty sure she's like supposed to be in her 20s. And her nanny still like takes care of her washing and cooking. She kind of does everything for her. And so it does make sense, you know, that there's like stuff lying everywhere, because I assume, you know, the laundry will be done by the nanny and she will just like grab everything. So she wouldn't, like, Noelle wouldn't really bother. So yeah, but in the end she will learn, you know, to I guess it's about like taking responsibility, you know, and you know, also there's a reason why she's like that, you know, because she's never really been given a place in the family where she's like responsible for anything, and she's just doing something that, you know, no one really ever expects anything from her. That's what her brother tells her, and she's actually pretty sad about that. Like, she would like to have something that, you know, she would be responsible for. So that's kind of part of the essence of the movie as well. So yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling so much about the movie, I'm so sorry, but it's just such a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry first off that I'm like spoiling so much, but you should definitely watch it. Like, it's totally worth it. It's a beautiful film, and like I said, like, if you want a good cry movie, that's the one to go. Like, it's to go with. It's just, I guarantee you, if you're like a crybaby like me, this will make you cry for sure. Yeah, so yeah, the bed, actually, I'm super happy with how the bed turned out, because the bed frame is kind of similar to the one that she has in the movie, but there's just, you know, it's like always, there's like so much bedding and, you know, stuff that makes it look comfy and cozy, you know. And we don't really have that in game. We don't really have beds like that at all. So what I did is just I used a bunch of these, well, they are, I mean, they're supposed to be like pillows, but they're not. They're just like chairs, actually. All of those are chairs, and they are in the armchair section. So I just size them down and rotate them with tools, so they do actually look like pillows. Like, they are poofs, you know. So but they do look like pillows, I think, and the bed still works. It's actually quite cool, because you can place those poofs pretty much everywhere. Like, you can place them on chairs, on armchairs, on couches, on beds. You know, it doesn't really bother the Sims. It's I guess because they're rotated, you know, and the footprint doesn't really, it doesn't align with the floor, so it wouldn't really, you know, bother the Sims so much. You know, does that make sense? I hope you know what I mean, but I guess that's why, you know, it's still functional, and I think it looks so cute, you know. It looks like you really want to jump into that bed and just cuddle up with the, like, in the pillows and all that, and yeah, also like the wallpaper, I used the wallpaper from Cottage Living, and I think that's actually really perfect for her. Like, she definitely has like a reddish kind of flowery wallpaper like that in her room. I think it has more green than red, but well, it definitely has like a flowery pattern like that, like a very bold flowery pattern. And also the one in the you know, in the living room on the upper floor, they also have this very bold kind of green flowery kind of wallpaper. Again, I used the one from Cottage Living, the other one, which is not quite as bold as I would have liked it to be, but yeah, it's fine. It's like, it's still nice. I think it still turned out nice. And oh, by the way, one thing that I'm not showing you, because I remembered that after I already edited the video, and I included that later on, is in the movie you can see there's like pictures or paintings of all the Santas from, like, I don't know, hundreds of years ago, and I think they might be hung like on this, you know, gallery, like up on the second floor where there's like the opening, because anyway, there's like the same wallpaper when you see them hanging the pictures. And so I did put them there, actually. I did put a lot of, like, every painting that we have with a person on it, like a portrait, I placed that there. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty cute. You can see it in the cinematic shots in the end. So and also I did include some exterior, like, detailing here, because I felt like, you know, it needs something there. And yeah, that's already it for this build. So I very much hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Merry Christmas again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Christmas is coming, the snowflakes will be falling. It's the most wonderful time of year. So hang up your stockings, put the tinsel on the tree, because Christmas is coming, my dear. It's the only time of year the reindeer fly. You can see them on their sleigh ride across the sky. Gather all your family round, or go out and paint the town. It's the only time of year the whole wide world turns upside down. So baby, light a fire, and we'll toast the night away, because Christmas is coming our way. The reindeer fly. You can't see them on their sleigh ride across the sky. Gather all your friends around, or go out and paint the town. It's the only time of year the whole wide world turns upside down. So baby, light a fire, and we'll toast the night away, because Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming.